So we'll get going here. Hi everybody, thanks very much for coming. My name is Marcus Miller. I'm the director here at the Gordon Snellgrove Gallery, and it's my great pleasure to be introducing Zhang Song Tao, who is really the first artist that we've had here that's part of an exchange that we're initiating here at the in the Department of Art with an art school in Wuhan, China, the Hubei Institute. And this should be the first part of an ongoing exchange that we have over the next few years with faculty in their department, faculty in our department, students, etc. So we're very happy. It was really, I think this part of the initiative for this was David Parkinson in the past. Li Zong from the Confucius Institute here at the U of S has also helped us quite a bit. And I know that last year, Tim Nowlin and Ali Norlin went over to the Hubei Institute for a project there, and they're going to be going back, I think. So that's terrific. And one of our recent graduates, Zhao Han, has also helped as a kind of a liaison for this project. So I'm just going to make this very, very brief, but Zhang Song Tao is the director of the sculpture department at the Hubei Institute in China. He helps the Hubei Institute, and this is Wikipedia information, is reputed to be, what does it say here, one of the best and most selective academies of fine art in China. So we're very happy to be connected with them. And Zhang's work has been exhibited across China, South Korea, Europe, and the United States. I know that he's made several trips to the States and all over the place, giving workshops and talks and having exhibits. And I also want to mention that he is currently installing quite a major piece at AKA Gallery. And that's going to be opening up this coming Friday with a number of other shows at Paved and AKA. And I believe Zhang is upstairs in the black box space. So he's just now installing that. It's a piece called A Corner. And I'm told that a corner in Mandarin is far more poetic than it is in English. We collectively apologize for that, and I give you Zhang Song Tao.
首先，今天非常荣幸受邀请，受Tim先生、克斯科先生还有先生邀请在这里介绍一下我的工作情况。
It's an honor to be invited to go to Snellgrove today. Thanks to Tim Nolan and Marcus Nolan for this opportunity for me to introduce my works.
我第一次到加拿大来。
This is my first place to come to Canada.
以前我在中国的时候，很少见到这么大的雪。
I really see such huge blizzard in China.
已经连续下了几天了。昨天我住的那个酒店里，一位老先生早上吃早餐的时候，他问我，你喜欢这个雪吗？这里的雪吗？我说我非常喜欢。
There was an old gentleman in his hotel asked me whether I like snow, and I said I love it very much.
他说祝你玩得愉快。
He said have a great journey.
今天早餐的时候又碰到那位老先生了，他又问了我，你还仍然喜欢这里的雪吗？
And I met that gentleman again, and he asked, "Do you still like the snow?"
我说我很喜欢，我还是说很喜欢。
I said I still like it.
那位老先生就很不高兴，他就不喜欢它。
That gentleman was super upset. He was like he hates the snow.
我想他明天可能就不会问我了。
I think he won't ask me again.
所以我来的路上还不小心滑了一跤，脚有点崴。
I accidentally slipped during my way here, so my black with zero.
但是我还是非常喜欢这里的雪景，非常美丽。
Still, I like the landscape, especially when it's snowing. It's quite beautiful scenery.
我这里就简单的介绍一下我的一些工作情况，我的作品，我的这个名称叫《自然而然的空间》。
So I'll briefly introduce my past works, and the title of my work is The Space Between Natural and Creative.
这张照片是我在法国一个小镇春天的时候在那里拍的。
I took this photo in a town in France. It was in spring.
我喜欢这些自然的树林啊、山水啊，喜欢到世界各地不同的自然风光去。
I like traveling around the world. I especially enjoy working around nature.
所以我的一些作品就和一些自然的因素有些关系，基本有一条线索贯穿。
So most of my work is related to nature and many elements from the natural landscape.
下面我就介绍从早期的一直介绍到现在目前的一些工作。
Now I'll just briefly introduce all the work from past to present.
这是一个素描作品，
This is a simple sketch of charcoal,
描绘的是一个植物生长的情况。
which depicts the process of the growth of the plant.
这是一些学生时代的一些习作练习，基本的练习。
That was a figure sketch I made when I was a student.
这是一个综合材料拼贴，然后加素描、色粉。
This is a mixed media piece I did.
这是一个色粉。
This was in pastel.
这是一个中国的水墨作品。
This is a Chinese calligraphy work with ink and washi paper.
对，因为这个形状就是一个男性生殖器。
It is a phallic symbol. Yes.
我把它描绘的是比较可爱的一种形式。
I try to make the phallic symbol as cute and adorable as possible.
它不是那种咄咄逼人、进攻性很强的情况，这是一种很萌的状态，一种儿童的婴儿的。
I want to make that childlike instead of aggressive and extreme or hypersexual.
这是我把它复制在一个中国的瓷器青花瓷器上。
That's a glaze I made on a Chinese pottery, the porcelain.
这是学生时代的一些写生作品。
That's also some of the figurative sculpture I made when I was a student.
这是个青铜作品，青铜名字叫蔓，就是为一种植物，这种植物的藤蔓的生长缠绕在你的人体上，
This was bronze casting, which depicts the growth of the vines that's intertwined with the human figure.
这是纸浆作品。
This is paper pulp.
这也是纸浆。
This is also made of paper.
这个时期，这个阶段呢是十几年前的作品了。这个阶段的作品，我对一些私密的 自然的一种神秘的一种东西感兴趣。
I made this about 10 or 20 years ago, and during this time, I was intrigued by the intimacy of human being and the connection with nature.
因为我读书和工作的湖北美术学院是湖北省原来在中国古代是战国时期的楚国。
Because the city where I'm from, the Hubei, was actually another country, the true country during the warring state.
楚国的文化是一种源自原始的巫文化和中国的凤文化结合起来的一种神秘的一种万物有灵的文化思想。
And the main culture from Chu was a very shamanistic and spiritualistic world. So it had great connection with witchcraft and shamanism.
所以我在这个制作的过程中，纸浆里边掺进去的有一些树叶，枯的树叶，杂草，所以这个纸浆的颜色就呈现出一种腐败的那种植物腐败的感觉。
During the making process, I add a bunch of leaves and the dead vines. So the pattern and the color will have a sense of decay.
这是一个用线做综合材料一个空间的一个实验作品。
That was also an experimental sculpture made with twigs.
柱筒这个造型是一个从中国古代的一个盘龙柱，中国古代建筑宫殿里面一种盘龙柱的形式。
This was bronze casting, which was inspired by the dragon column in Imperial Palace.
这个盘绕上去是类似于蛇蜕一样的蛇蜕的皮，就是龙，我把它认为是龙的一个残骸。
The figure resembles the shed skin of the snake, also a casket of the dragon.
这也是描绘一个植物的生长的根呢藤蔓的一个小型作品。
This was a tiny figure I made to depict the growth of the roots of the plant.
一些小型的铸铜的作品。
This was also tiny samples I made out of bronze.
这些都是10-20厘米大小的小型的一些关于一些两性啊、生命能量。
Those are all tiny figure about 20 centimeters long in diameter to depict the sexuality and the intimacy and the creatures, and also the fertility symbol.
这是蛋白质。
This is actually a protist.
鸡蛋蒸的鸡蛋。
Made out of steamed egg.
这个作品我做成以后，我就把它吃掉了。
And I ate it after.
这个是一个被子，是中国乡村里边传统的一个结婚时候需要用的那种，上面有一个非常吉祥的图案，就是龙凤呈祥的一个大被子。
This is the traditional carpet that the country always use during the wedding night, which symbolizes the good fortune and fertility.
然后这里边伸出来的脚就是可以让大家有很多丰富的想象。
And all the feet sticking out of the blanket can provoke quite a lot of imagination. from here.
这是一个小雕塑，塑造的是一个我们中国清代时候的一个知识分子的形象。
This is tiny figurine of the bronze, which depicts the scholar from the Qing dynasty of 17th century.
下面一个是我介绍一个我的另外一件作品，这是一个我的作品的一个来源。这幅作品是中国古代有名的画家顾恺之的一个作品，叫《女史箴图》。
Here I will introduce some of my inspirations. This is one of the famous classical Chinese scroll painting.
讲是他的这幅作品的主要意图是，规劝中国古代妇女和宫廷里边的妇女是要守妇道。
The main theme of those scroll paintings is try to tell the women of the time to know the rules.
我这个作品的名称和他这个作品名称是同名，都叫女史箴。
And I made a sculpture in correspondence with that scroll painting of the same title.
这是一个纸浆的，这前面这是青铜的，这是纸浆的，后面是一个屏风。
The previous one is bronze, and this one is made out of paper.
就是我们在现代这个时代来想象，1000多年前中国的女性的一种时空，在那个时空的一种状况，生存状况。
This is my modern depiction of the Asian Chinese women and their living conditions.
这是一个手的习作。
This is just a practice.
这是一个木雕，形状是一个中国传统道教的神。
This is a wooden sculpture which depicts a deity of the Chinese Taoism.
名字叫玄武。
The name was Xuanwu, which means a black tortoise of the north, one of the constellation signs of the Chinese astronomy.
是传统道教里边有一个中国传统道教里边把天空或者说空间分成4个方向，叫4象，青龙、白虎、朱雀、玄武。
The Chinese astrology depicts the sky constellations into 4 major signs, which are the black tortoise of the north, the white tiger of the east, the white tiger of the west, the jade dragon of the east, and the fire phoenix of the north, of the south.
分成东南西北4个方向，4个方向的空间。青龙是东方，管辖东方的时空；白虎是西方，管辖西方的时空；玄武是北方，管辖北方的时空；朱雀是南方，管辖南方的时空。这个就是玄武，也是一个北方的神。
This depicts the humanoid figure of the black turtle of the north.
Well, could you tell us how big it is? Could you ask how big it is?
这个2米。
We saw it in the sculpture building. It was in one of the
2
hallways.
meters high.
So yeah,
Yes.
about 2
Okay,
meters.
Larger
that's
than
what I-
life.
okay, thank you.
It's about 2 meters high in that.
下方这2个，一个龟一个蛇是玄武神的一个象征符号代表。
Underneath there, that's the animal symbol of the Xuanwu, the black tortoise, which depicts the serpent intertwined.
I'm also, oh, sorry. I'm also curious, it almost looks like it could come out like in puzzle pieces. I'm just wondering if it's my misinterpretation. It's sort of fascinating me as I look at the construction. Like it looks like those notches or something. Do things pull out like a puzzle?
That's what it looks like when you're up close to it. I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it does look like it's a bunch of rock salt joined together.
Yeah, fascinating.
这个不是个奇观，这个是这种榫卯是中国古代一个木匠或者建筑木结构的家具和建筑都用的一种连接方式。
That connection method is used quite widely in traditional Chinese architectures by using only the mosaic and the tenon without any other metal to connect the wooden structures.
Joinery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, time
they control it.
湖北境内的一个武当山上面是这个玄武的一个它的一个驻地，上面有一个道观，是中国明代永乐皇帝建的。
There was a Taoist temple in Wuhan, which was built in the Ming Dynasty. And the main deity of that temple is Xuanhu, is this deity.
因为永乐皇帝的都城是在北京，在北方，他把自己作为一个北方的神。
Because the imperial palace at the time was at north, so the emperor saw himself was the deity of the north.
因为他是篡位的，他把他的本来原来的皇帝是他的侄儿，然后他造反以后把他的侄儿赶下台，自己做了皇帝。
Because the emperor come to his power by murdering his own cousin, so he want to strengthen his own power by depicting himself as a deity, not ordinary person.
然后他就做了一个这种北方的神，来放到湖北，湖北是中国的中部，来镇守他的江山。
And also he made such a black tortoise figurine in Wuhan just to give all his people a warning.
这是一个襁褓中的婴儿，这个是中国也是中国民间乡村传统的一种包裹婴儿的方式，一个花被。
This is also a traditional way of covering a baby.
是木雕。
This is wooden sculpture.
这边左边的是铸铜、青铜，右边是汉白玉。
On the left it was bronze, and on the right it was jade.
我把中国民间这种婴儿的包裹形象的肖像做成西方的这种肖像的形式来表现这个中国的婴儿。
I use the classical Western way to display the Chinese element.
下边是近几年的一些作品，就是主要是从一些自然的元素、自然生命、能量这些元素传递过来的，这些都是这个是克里斯多的一个作品。
The following are few inspirations which talk about the nature and nature and life forces.
这是中国古代宋代的一个画家的作品，就是画山水画。
This is the works of a Chinese painter of the Song Dynasty.
这是元代的一个画家李赞的作品。
And this is the painting from Nizam, of Yuan Dynasty.
这是欧洲的艺术家描绘植物的。
And some inspirations from the European painters.
中国古代传统的文人，画家都喜欢自然，是喜欢在山林水、山泉之间隐居。
All the classical poets of China like to immerse themselves with nature and they will find a tiny hut, and to keep them away from the city, just to imbue themselves fully with nature.
所以我的这一阶段对自然这种一些很微小的一些植物啊、树叶、草啊、花草啊非常感兴趣，它们的结构啊、生长，然后我就用一些这些铁丝编织一大片这种草和形状。
And during this period, I was extremely intrigued by the growth of nature and plants. So I used a bunch of wires to depict the tiny and delicacy of all the plants.
这个是一点一点的编织，一直在蔓延，一直现在还在持续中。
This was an ongoing process. I will add a tiny bit over time. That just suits the speed of the plant growth.
就是从前面这个作品发展到现在这个叫艺。
And this one is the one currently installed in AK Gallery, which was an extension of my previous work.
这个我喜欢把各种材料都运用到一起，有
I like using mixed media, which includes iron,
有铁、铜、铝、锡，
bronze, copper, zinc.
Jimmy, do you know what stanum is? He listed that, and I'm just curious about that. Stanum. Says S-T-A-N-N-U-M. It was on the list.
It's Latin for tin.
Tin? Oh, okay.
It's a Latin
Thanks,
for tin.
Teddy.
这个上面一些是铸铁、铜等锡融化以后交给它，一会儿有个视频，看一个制作的过程。
All these patterns were molten metals, which including zinc, iron, copper, and pewter.
这是一个作品用电子丝制作的一些表现能量啊。 生命的一些神奇的东西，微妙。
And this one is to depict the fascinating facts about energy and life.
这些电子丝的形状是我从一些中国古老的一些符号，吉祥符号啊，还有一些。 宗教上的一些符，一种预言和辟邪祈福的符号来转化过来。
Those patterns was inspired by the traditional Chinese and religious symbols from the text for good fortune.
这些就是陶和电子丝综合在一起，然后中国古代
This is the mix of the wire and pottery.
中国历史上有一种神秘的预言的一种民间的传统。
In ancient China, there's one way of divination.
在一些原始的巫术里边，也有一些咒语啊，或者是祈福的符号啊。
And there's many symbols in the traditional ancient witchcraft. And the symbols are meant for asking good fortune.
这里边这个传统和或者是民间的这种习俗一直流传下来， 在中国历史上一些人民的暴动啊，或者赶朝换代时候，都会有一些这种预言。
And the witchcraft is one of the most important aspects of the ancient Chinese culture, which will be quite prominent, especially when the dynasty changes.
比如说，在黄河里挖出来一块石头，上面有一个密语。
For example, once upon a time, there's some farmers discover a stone from the river with a riddle written on it.
说一个朝代要灭亡了，一个新的朝代要兴起。
Which says the old dynasty gonna die soon, and a new government system will replace it.
这些传说和这些或者一些符号啊，符啊，道教的符啊，把它这种元素很令人着迷，我觉得可以把它运用到我的一些作品，这些作品。
All those folklores and the religion symbols of Taoism intrigues me deeply, so I try to incorporate all those elements into my work.
同时，中国道教里面有一个炼丹术，类似于西方的炼金术。
In the meantime, there's also a sorcery in the Chinese Taoism, which is similar to the Western alchemy.
通过采自然的一些元素啊，和自己身体自己肉身的一些内在的能量结合，通过一种固定的神秘的一种修炼方法来达到长生不老，或者是得道成仙。
And one of the main aspects of Taoism is to harness the power of nature and to work it with, to incorporate with one's own physical power in order to become divine.
我对这些非常感兴趣，我也希望在做这些作品中能够从他们的从这些方面得到启发。如果万一能够，
I was intrigued by the Taoism idea of one's connection with nature, and I hope to meditate during the process of making such works.
在我的一些胡乱操作中，说不定会碰巧练出一个金丹之类的，也许就可以长生不老。
And maybe during my practice, I could get some divine medicine from the mysterious alchemy, and then I will become divine.
这是在铸造厂进行制作那个前面那个铁的那个疙瘩。
This is a picture of me casting.
下面几张是我一些在公共广场的一些公共艺术作品。
And the following works are some of my public installations.
这是一个黑色花岗岩和金属锡结合的镶嵌。
Those are stones embedded with metal.
这是黑色花岗岩镶嵌的汉白玉。
This is black stone embedded with molten rock.
木雕里面镶嵌。
Those are all wooden.
这是一个城市广场的一个纪念性雕塑。
This is a monumental sculpture I made in the public square.
这是叫武昌起义，就是中国推翻 封建王朝帝制，然后建立共和国的一个起义和暴动。
This is a revolution which the communists took over the imperial China and formed a new society.
1910年。
During 1910. And those are slashes.
还有几个小视频。
And there are a few video clips of my process of making.
Vô nghe nó gì vậy bạn? Đó.
Can you describe what's happening?
这好痒啊！
这是在铸造厂，这个炉子是里边是熔的铁。
That's molten iron in the furnace.
这是我在做我那个义语或者作品的一个组成部分，就把它进到那个熔的铁里边。
That was one of the making process of the sculpture in AKA gallery installation. That's one thing is to dip the material into the molten metal.
我觉得这个过程比我最终呈现的结果要更有震撼性。
I saw the making process is more interesting than the final product.
更有力。
Surface structure, dipping it into, yeah.
Where is it being made?
燃烧的心呐！
这是在湖北，在中国湖北一个铸造厂、一个工厂里边。
It was in a factory in Hubei.
我想把它在工厂里作为一个展览。
I want to do an installation in a factory for the raw material.
这
Very much. Good pleasure.
There's also a controller. There's a time element. It's a pulsation, it's on and it's off.
有一个开关，
Yeah, there's a switch.
The switch, yeah.
啊，还有一点占用一点时间，我给大家介绍一下我们一个课程，在我们学校上的一个课程。
And also I want to introduce you guys about there's one class I'm making in my school.
我们这个课程是酿酒课，
This class is about wine making.
我们带着学生参观了一些乡村民间自己酿酒的作坊和一些酒吧自己酿啤酒的一些设施，还有酒厂。
We take our students to a field trip to some of the countryside wine factories and to get to know their own method of making wine.
然后我
Show
们
the chicken leg.
我们让学生自己组合，然后他们喜欢酿什么样的酒，有葡萄酒、白酒、果酒、威士忌这个。
I was going to say, you don't make wine out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
We let students choose what kind of liquor they want to make. So some students make beer or wine or whiskey.
然后他们自己找来配方，然后找来原料粮食，
They have to find their own ingredients.
然后自己设计酿造和蒸馏的设备。
And then they have to mix all the tools themselves.
这是他们的，这是稻谷酿的一个稻谷酒，
This is our wheat.
这是他们自己设计的一个蒸馏的一个装置设施。
These are the winemaking machine they designed by themselves.
这都是他们自己学生设计的，这里正在蒸馏出酒。
That's the making process.
I want to take that class.
OK，
We need some curricular development here.
Is this a sculpture class? What is this?
这是一个外表是可能，
那是装置。明年可以，明年我们一起上。
那可以想知道的是从事可能是
雕塑装置我们的装置。
This is an extended media sculpture collaboration with winemaking.
Thank you. Yes, I'm in.
Yes, yes.
That's excellent.
是学生们自己设计的那个图纸。
That's a blueprint they students make themselves.
这个学生是做的香水，
That's actually for fragrance making.
For fragrance?
Yeah.
这他们正在，这是个冷却设备，
That's a cooling device
用竹子做的。
made of bamboo.
正在冷却，这里是出酒的地方。
That's a cooling process, and this tiny hole is for the wine to go out.
这是学生们已经做好的酒，
That's already made wine bottles.
这有一个用竹子做的一个蒸馏设备。这是一个我们那个乡村里面一个酿酒作坊的一个老师傅，他正在鉴定这个学生的酒的质量。
That's one of the winemakers, and he's trying to test out whether the liquor the student made is acceptable.
是我们自己搭的一个正灶。这是最后的作业。
That's the final assignment.
有中国白酒，有
There's Chinese sake.
有葡萄酒，
There's wine.
白兰地，
There's brandy and whiskey.
好，大概就这样，介绍就
That's it. Any questions?
Wonder if you could explain a bit about how people train in sculpture and in China. Like they start in high school, like how many years of university? Do they have like a 4-year and a 2-year like we do?
4个小时到那个中国的学习，雕塑学习怎么训练？他们是从初中就开始还是？
是这样，他们1年级是在整个学校里边统一有一个基础，1年级整1年一个基础部在那里学习，所有门类的一些基础课，比方油画呀、水墨呀、素描啊这类一些综合材料。
So during the first year of the university, all the students must take all the fundamental courses, which includes fundamental oil painting, fundamental painting, and sculpture, and everything.
进2年级以后就到我们雕塑系，雕塑系最开始是有我们的传统的一个泥塑的写生，
And in the second year, they will get into their major department, in this case, in sculpture. And the very beginning, they will learn to make clay in a figurative manner.
然后有空间构成，综合材料课，
And there's also spatial structure and extended media.
从3年级开始，3年级、4年级就进入一些材料性的创作的课，有比如金属、木雕、石雕以及材料等等。
During the 3rd or 4th year, they will begin to work with varieties of medias, including metal and wood casting.
在4年级、3年级期间，我们会请一些国内外的艺术家来进行一些授课。
And during their senior years, they will invite artists from around the world to teach them.
5年，我们是5年制，5年是毕业年级进入一个工作室方向，我们有3个方向的工作室，学生根据自己的研究方向来自愿报名，进行这个毕业的课程。
The undergrad in HIFA is 5 years, and during the 5th year, they will have their own studio and to explore their own interests.
grad school is 3 years.
And then there's grad school after that?
Yeah, it's a 3 years program.
对，研究生。
Yes, and after that, that's grad school.
Right. So even to start undergrad, do they get admitted by portfolio? Like
Yeah.
how? So you have to, it's quite competitive just to get into the undergrad program?
竞争性很大。
也，中国学艺术的学生非常多。
There's a lot of students want to learn art in China, so it's quite competitive.
每年报考我们学校的有，这2年是5-6万人。
There's 5 or 6 million people try to get into the administration every year.
Every year?
Every year.
And they take how many? 5 or 6 million?
我们每年招收2000左右。
2,000 every year.
And why do they all want to be sculptors? They get good jobs afterwards?
为什么都喜欢当雕塑家？
不止雕塑，是所有的绘画呀，还有一些艺术设计啊。
It's not only sculpture. There's
Art.
all kind of art.
Right. But is it like, is there actually good employment in China for people with art degrees?
中国的艺术一些就业情况。
no.
They're pretty ambitious though, when they decide they're going for it.
This isn't a question, it's more of a comment, but one of the things that I admire in the work is the combination of science and just this affinity towards materials. There's a real connection, and even the stuff that's, I think, really big and difficult to work with in terms of materials end up looking quite delicate and quite refined.
就是非常喜欢你对各种材料的掌控，尽管是非常大的那种，它一般可以把非常大、非常粗糙的材料做得非常精致。
谢谢。那个我
Thank you.
我喜欢对各种东西进行一些实验。
I like to experiment on variety of materials.
It's beautiful work. You're welcome. It's beautiful work.
谢谢。
Thank you.
I'd like to make one comment also. What is very striking about your work and the work of many Chinese artists that I've seen and the art schools in China, in contrast to art schools here and artwork in North America and Europe, is the range of styles and genres. You present very realistic work and installations, all kinds of work. In a sense, we've been de-skilled here in a craft sense, yeah? Sorry, I'm going on too long for you to really break this down. But it's a very striking difference between the range of work that you do and what is possible here. We're much more specialized. Can you make any sense of that, Shannon?
Oh yeah, sure.
就是帮你不同欣赏，就是因为中国艺术界你所做的东西是样式展示，就是各种各种不像有其他的东西专注于这，而且在西方这边就可能出现就是那种自由基础。
其实这也是我的一个，也是我的一个问题吧，我的一个问题。
Actually, this is one of my questions.
我觉得我可能也是有点就是缺乏一种系统性的一种专门的一个研究深度。
I think I'm lacking of some systematic and major aspects.
我一直也想在一个方向上面做得更专业，更深入一些，但是我控制不住我对别的东西的一些兴趣，总是见异思迁。
I always want to dig deeper and dig deeper into one aspect and to perfect it, but I couldn't help being distracted by the other interests.
Thank you very much.
Remember, you're all invited to AKA on Friday evening. So you open it.
Yeah, hi, my name is Shelby. Hi, Shelby. Sure. They're disposable, right? Can they overturn the? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you can apply for support for capital expenses too.
Right.
But you have to really start
Something for that.
Well, the jury's first question is, you know, that acquire this piece of equipment in another way.
Right, that's what I remember too. I was sort of embarrassed.
Recognizing that if you buy a new computer, you buy a compressor, you buy something.
Going to lecture there, I remember this huge.
So, but if you're compelled enough, like,
Yeah, I walked
you
in.
realize that that piece of equipment was, then it could prove capital expenses.
Okay,
But when it comes to brushes and paint and stuff like that, all that stuff's a no.
Even at U of L.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
they recognize that those brushes wear out.
They do wear out,
You
yeah,
have to
yeah.
get them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go pop outside.
I was gonna call you, like, I was trying to call you yesterday, but like 4:30 to make sure it was a little too late.
Okay, but then I just logged it over there, and I saw you at one of the workshops at Wisconsin American Library.
Oh, yeah, you were there?
I was there, yeah, so I just, yeah, sure.
No, call anytime and leave a message.
Okay.